Hey guys, so how are y'all feeling today? I'm coming to you now with, of course, as we edge closer and closer to Halloween Day. Actually, I just wanted to bring y'all, whoever who didn't already know, the one true classics who do know, is of the original film, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I kind of like you know, like if you're just one of the ones that like the original, that's okay. Of course, there's no you know, um, shame in that. But when it comes to me, I actually enjoy. I know it's of course it's like it's still the original is pretty terrifying, but to me, I feel like the remake. It's like the remake in 2003. I feel like those one of the remakes actually is actually like surprisingly good and actually could be of its own because the remake, yeah, I actually can go. It's kind of underrated because even though it kind of got caught up and it still is a remake. But of course, I still like fuck the critics, but like, and unfortunately, it's still is a remake. So people, the majority of people don't like remakes, and which I can understand. But the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, its remake in 2003, yeah, it's very surprisingly good and it's very underrated. But with all that thrown out there, let me get into my critique of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The original one, 1974. And I also feel like this one's. I know people like to say that of course, Halloween 1978 is the one that started, the slashers. When actually that's not really all that accurate. If you ones the ones out there that actually know, seeing Black Christmas, one of the Black so the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Black they came out in 1974, and I think Black Christmas came out in 1976. Yeah, those to me actually, yeah, they started the slasher genre. And yeah, which I think, I love Halloween, but when it comes to that, I actually think that a whole lot better. And I might get, I might get a bit of pitchforks and manhandling there, but yeah, I just feel like my wholehearted, opinion. I feel like they're Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Black Christmas. They don't get much credit in the slasher genre because they pretty much, yeah, the first really slasher was like the first couple of slashers were Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, no, yeah, the first one was Psycho, but yeah, that's why I don't get it too, because the first one, the Psycho, actually started the slasher, the slasher horror genre, and then after that it was Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Black Christmas. So not really Halloween, but as let me get into it. So as you know, of course, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is about a young woman named Sally, and as they travel to an old family home in Texas. She travels with her few friends to old family home out of Texas. And I heard it's about they go to. Oh, sorry, there. But yeah, she hears that her grandfather's grave may have been vandalized, so her yeah, it's her and her brother. I didn't even actually know that. That's her brother. Yeah, Franklin. Her and her paraplegic brother. Oh, what does that mean? I might figure out later, but yeah, her and her brother, and they set out, a few of their friends. They go out to investigate, and then as they start to discover and they find this kind of like abandoned, treacherous home, trashed up home, and they also find these cannibalistic, crazed family of murderers living in the house, and shit starts to fly from there. And yeah, it's just all throughout it's just like if I just even looking back at this film, it's just overall just extremely terrifying because it's just when you look at it, it's just certain scenes from the actors too. It's pretty surprising too that they, no neighbors and yeah, the act, which and then the acting, they all of it makes that much more terrifying. The acting that goes with, with Leatherface too, just so fucking terrifying. Like I really love this movie. Oh, also before I get into it, so before that, so it's also based on the real life. He wasn't really a serial killer. He wasn't really a serial killer. I guess he just happened to kill two. So, but it's also, if you already didn't know, which you should, it's also based on the real life murders or killer, if you say that, call him that, who is Ed Gein, and he was as leather, and he was obsessed with female skin and wearing their faces as masks, and he would dig out graves. He would dig body out of graves, and then it would go from there. So that's how the character of Leatherface was expired. Yeah. That's how the director Tobe Hooper. That's how he got his inspiration from. Because the real actually behind it is from basically the real life Leatherface is Ed Gein, and he was obsessed with female skin. And you see Leatherface, he's basically wearing like the face like it's in makeup or like makeup, and then like a female like hair. Yeah, and he would wear them as masks as you see Leatherface do it. So yeah, that's how Texas Chainsaw Massacre got its name and inspiration from from the the real life. Not really a serial killer, but I guess you still call him. He did murder people, but yes, it's from the real life serial killer Ed Gein. So like I said, this movie is just extremely fantastic. Does everything, really really well. At first, before we get into it, so I would like to talk about it's just that when it comes to in the beginning of the movie, like it's like all throughout it because they also say and it's like I guess the all too it's like because they use the theme around it actually being based on true events and the message throughout of it because I actually thought for like a long time. I also say in the remake when I go on to do the remake, I actually thought for a very long time that this could actually be real. And as growing more up and finding out that it's not, I actually was pretty much relieved. So yeah, when it starts, the beginning, the message, and this, the whole story around, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre really feels real creepy. Like haunting in a fact where it's just like you almost think like it can actually be real. So I thought that was and it's of course looking at this as a little as a young little boy, of course you're gonna be pretty fucking petrified. So yeah, overall really like that. Oh yeah, also it's just that the climber, also with the the camera shot clicks. That also kind of they just really still hearing them and thinking back to them. That them also the camera shot clicks where it just like repeatedly that's all that also can be that's really makes the skin crawl a bit. Like that's how they do that actually is that's kind of unnerving. Yeah, I never thought camera shot clicks could also be really weird and scary also. Oh yeah, of course it is a 19. I mean I don't know like it is, yeah it is you know because it is still a day, but of course it is like horror movie, and it has to have some type of like sex or showing the body like ass shots of course and wherever, and yeah that's all throughout the movie, and then so yeah be as of course just be expected to see that. Oh, and also see where the only character I really like throughout the film is Franklin, because he actually it just like he just has this sense about him that's like kind of like an outcast, and he just overall it just feels wholesome and genuine. So yeah, because I can kind of relate to that too. So yeah, he's like he's like pretty much the only character uh, I really get kind of feel for and I like. So that's actually probably yeah. All the other ones are pretty much d bags. So well, I don't know about Sally, but I mean she kind of she's okay, but yeah, the rest of them is just whatever you believe to. But they still yeah, the characters they really don't make you feel like. Of course, like the acting is still good for the most part, but like yeah, the actor who plays Sally, she does kind of overreact a bit. So yeah, she does kind of overreact a bit. So, but yeah, the acting is still what it was. Still like does his job and it's still good because these are all nameless actors. So for me, it's what I thought too. Yeah, the acting is still pretty great. And then just as a film, the directing, like I said about the acting, yeah, the directing is much as remarkable. Yeah, directing is as just like the acting is much more remarkable. Yeah, just like the look and the feel location, as well as how in the characters, like how they carry, like how they react, to be like seeing, being killed and reacting to like the sight of Leatherface. Yeah, it's just overall just overly great. Yeah, I like that. Because you got actually put your if you actually put yourself in their shoes and just imagine being like he can run for for a pretty for a pretty giant almost big dude. He can run too, so that actually makes him much more fucking scary. And plus that he got a fucking chainsaw in his hand, so might want to run a bit faster. So I was like, wow. So all that. So just like the look of that, all is just very amazing as well. Like Sally's when she's being when she finds she doesn't know yet, but like when she finds where his dad, like the dad of the family, and she just looking around, just twitching, and like basically her just like the look of her soulless, like petrified face. That's an example of just how the characters just feel extremely vulnerable and scary of Leatherface. Just really good. And yeah, so yeah, also in the cinematography, also yeah, it's eerie and creepy, and it's just overall because you just like all of it. It's just the look of the house into the town. It's just real, especially inside. And, examples of that is when Sally. No wait, examples of that is when how what's her name? Yeah, the bone. It's basically like full of bones, like where Pam falls into like a room, and it's like bones. Ugh, like I think it was like bones of animals. It's like bone. It was like pretty much like bones everywhere. And like really starts to be spooked out about it. Yeah, that has a presence too, where you just you just know you fucked up, and it's like oh shit. Like you could also like think that somebody's there, and if they find you, you can be almost next. That's in a sense, and you just really get scared of that. So that's a scene right there. Of the cinema, like I could say cinematography, where it's just pretty terrifying as well. And oh, and then also it's like, damn, it's just one of the other terrifying scenes. That was really gruesome. Where the hallway to Leatherface's lair, like when Kirk gets his head smashed in. But that the hammer, I think it was a claw hammer. Damn, it's just like his body. It was just really, that right there is just truly horrendous. He was like twitching and shanking, like twitching and shaking. Like damn, it's just like you can like feel that. It's just oh goodness gracious, fuck. Like wow, and it's like also like how they make or how Leatherface's mask. That's also pretty scary too. I think the mask though in the 2000 remake, which is actually much better because he actually uses flesh because you actually see the flesh into it. So I think that makes it much more scary. But yeah, the mask like how his mask is made Leatherface. I guess they're not really that scary, but just the look still and how he has the chainsaw and he can be used as a weapon, a chainsaw. Yeah, it's just fucking scary. That's scary in itself, and the fact that he can run. Wow, just oh my gosh. Oh, like I would not want to be in that situation. Like, goodness gracious. And yeah, like I said too, like I said before, Franklin is pretty much the only one that stands out because he's just going throughout the film. I actually want to find out. Sorry, give me a second. What does parapemic mean? Because he's like the only one that stands out to me. Oh, okay. That's why he's like in a wheelchair because yeah, he's has caught. I guess he can say it's like yeah, paraplegic. Yeah, when they say that, because he can't, he's electric. That's why he's in a wheelchair because he can't really move. So, so that's why I can feel it. Oh, I also like in the video you just saw before, of me just saying it. You pretty much yeah, it's like twice now that y'all see my face. That's pretty much the only thing I use right now. So yeah, I apologize about that. And I apologize also if y'all can't really hear me too. So you really got to get a new phone. But yes, that's why he's in a wheelchair. I just really know what that means. So yeah, it also got me. It's like he comes off like Franklin. So he comes off a bit loony because as he explains to his friends how farmers kill cattle. He like really spooked out and like scared of him, like he's like some kind of freak. So I'm like, damn, that's kind of fucked up. But yeah, and then of course one of the memorable scenes where they picked up. They don't show it in the remake because they like pick up a girl, but in the original one, they originally picked up one of the members of the family, the Sawyer family, when they originally called what they're originally called the Sawyer family. And scene that stuck out to me, of course, is where they pick up the sadistic loony hitchhiker. As he rambles on and he cuts himself, and then he as they throw him out, they almost about to throw him out. Yeah, he just comes off crazy. As y'all see there, that's probably what he was talking to him. Yeah, he comes off as really sadistic and crazy, and he starts to cut himself up. And it's like, oh God, gotta get this fucker out of here. And then yeah, that's when he cuts in deep into Franklin before he gets out of the curb. So lesson lesson learned there. Don't pick up hitchhikers. And then, yeah, like I said, besides I don't not really Sally, but yeah, other characters are pretty much I don't know. Really, the ones that come off to me is like pretty much as was Kirk. He's pretty a d bag because he's is he making fun of Franklin most of the time. But yeah, I don't. That's pretty much the only one that seemed like to me that seemed like much of an asshole. So, but yeah, I guess none of the characters are really memorable because they are like no development of them or arcs of them. It's because they're pretty much just there for cattle. So, but I did feel for Franklin though, because he just comes off in a way that's just as he's like outcasted. You just feel like in a way that's outcasted. And yeah, I could like this. I could like I said I could put myself in the situation as him because I felt as much of an outcast and like I said, bullied and everything like that as well. So yeah, he's pretty much the only one I like throughout the film, and it's a horror movie. So yeah, wow, like see it sounds like one character right there is actually pretty genuine. You can kind of pretty much likable. Oh yeah, and the film. One is also some of this also another scenes that stand out. It's just horrific. It's just the family dinner scene where Sally is captured. Yeah, it's just that just also it looks and feels so unnerving because it's like being just imagine being captured and imagine being captured and put in a situation where you just can't get out, can't run, nobody can hear you beside other than this family. It's just looking and laughing as they eat and relishing the fact that they got you and yeah it might could be over for you. So yeah, that was I thought right there that stood out, really unnerving. Oh yeah, and then like the infamous scene also where pretty much that one of the other memorable scenes also like where Sally finally gets away on a truck, and then she, she gets away on a truck, and then she's laughing at Leatherface because he knows, she knows that he can't get to her. She's gone now, and he's pissed about that. So yeah, I thought that was that's pretty is funny. Yeah, I like that scene. But yeah, most of this movie is it's just a lot of. I don't think there's any mistake. I don't think there's any mistakes besides the characters not really having much development to them. But come on, it's hard. It's a horror movie. Not that much characters, I guess they can, but I guess the directors don't really give a fuck about the characters. So when it comes to characters, they just they can just be cattle. So good overall, but overall the film, even though I like the remake better, I can still I like this as well. I can pretty much pop a click or two back when it comes to Halloween season. But yeah, overall this movie is just just truly extraordinary. Just to look from the characters to Leatherface, just overly extraordinary. Like y'all got if you haven't been watching this since Halloween season has started, you gotta pop in this. Have to pop in this. Just truly amazing. Yeah, just great stuff. But that's it, and I guess we can get into the other slashers too. Like I said, slasher craze. I just wanted to check out, another horror movie for y'all, or maybe I'll check out another horror movie for y'all that I like, or you can pretty much like too. But yeah, that's pretty much it, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Stay blessed, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed your night as well.